public comment at still 6 o'clock. Just a reminder that you can have 3 minutes to speak, and I can set a timer for any if we need a reminder. Is there anybody for public comment? Oh, can come up here to this.
Yeah, please come to the, looks like so far, but come on up to the
Come to this podium.
Okay.
Oh, and you have to say your name and the town, right?
My name is Robert Wilkins, and I am a resident of Hampton, New Hampshire. Okay, now there's a lot of things you have to worry about in K through 12 education that university professors or private sector entities often don't worry about. I imagine in normal times, military issues and national security are not among them. I believe we're not in normal times. I believe we're in a time similar to the 1930s. Education and science and scientific research in the 1920s and 1930s, you know where that led to in 1945. I believe we're in a similar time. I don't know that for a fact, but that is likely where artificial intelligence research is headed. Okay. You know what happened in 1945, right? The invention of the nuclear bomb, which is related to scientific research and in particular science education. All right, so this is from the New York Times, and it's not good news. This is a New York Times article. You can find it in November 19th last year, and I'm not going to go through the whole article, but in the AI race, Chinese talent still drives American research. Chinese brains continue to play a major role in U.S. research. The New York Times author used one specific example, which is consistent with my anecdotal example from working with one of the Boston University machine learning research groups, which I'll explain later. So these three sources of information basically all say the same thing. Mark Zuckerberg, unveiling the Superintelligence Lab, named 11 artificial intelligence researchers. All 11 were immigrants, educated in other countries. 7 of the 11 were born in China. That means do the math. None come from an American high school. Okay? This is another news report, which basically says the same thing. The AI dilemma: to compete with China, the U.S. needs Chinese talent. Silicon Valley cannot get enough of Chinese researchers. China accounted for nearly half the world's top AI talent, et cetera, et cetera. The third information resource is anecdotal from my experience with the machine learning research group. Well, there's several, there's more than one, at Boston University, associated with bioinformatics in the math department at BU since 2023. I am not a postdoc or PhD student myself, but the purpose of this group was to provide services. Most of the people who went to this group were PhD students and postdocs. Probably about between 10 and 20, to one extent or another, between September 2023 and a couple of months ago. To my recollection, all were immigrants.
I'm gonna just let you know 3 minutes went by, so maybe like 1 more minute to finish.
Okay. The point is without changes to our high school and junior high school system, China is much more likely to win the artificial intelligence race because of this issue, because so few of the top-notch AI researchers are coming out of our high school system. And if what I believe about the military implications are true, and that is indeed a possibility, that will put millions of lives in danger. I used up 3 minutes that quickly? So, if you want to try to solve this problem, you should contact me.
Thank you.
Thank you for letting me run slightly over.
Yes, thank you for sharing.
Thank you, Mr. Wilkins.
All right, Winnacunnet Pride.
Alrighty, so not much to report on for the beginning of the month, but the senior class did host a winter semi-formal dance in the dining hall on January 24th, which we had a great turnout of students, and it was a great success. The week of January 27th was our Exeter Spirit Week, which included Drake May Day on Tuesday, Winter Tire Wednesday, Adam Sandler Day on Thursday, and Class Color Day on Friday. The Interact Club is hosting the annual Sweetheart Brunch this Saturday in the dining hall, and the Winnacunnet Lit magazine is selling Valentine's Day cards until February 12th, and winter sports are just now starting to enter their postseason games.
Thank you. We have the meeting minutes from our January 21st meeting. Anybody have any comments, changes?
Motion to approve the minutes from the January 21st, 2026 regular meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Thank you.
Okay. SAU reports.
So we'll try to keep them brief. I know we're on a tight schedule with deliberative session ahead of us. Just to highlight that we had our legislative roundtable meeting last week, and thank you to Senator Altschiller and area representatives Peggy Balboni, Nicholas Bridle, Erica DeVries, Mike Edgar, Chris Munns, and Susan Percelli, who joined board members from SAU 21 and SAU 90 to talk about current issues facing the New Hampshire legislature, particularly those pertaining to education, school funding, special education, open enrollment, and SAU consolidation were among the topics discussed at that meeting. We will hold another meeting in early April after crossover to discuss bills that are moving forward at that time. I will say, I can't remember if legislation is on our agenda tonight. We usually do a legislative update, but as it's not, I will just encourage folks to continue to follow what's happening through the NHSBA updates, New Hampshire School Board Association updates. The open enrollment bill was slated to be voted on today, but that vote was postponed. So no update as of yet on when that might go back to the House floor, but I know this board has expressed concerns about some of the language in that bill during the legislative roundtable, so I would encourage you to continue reaching out to your representatives and legislators and the governor's office to voice those concerns. And our student leadership team had a joint meeting with the Parent Advisory Council. Sadie could share thoughts on that, but it was an opportunity just to sort of exchange from student perspective and adult perspective kind of what's working, what we might be able to improve on and consider, and I think a great opportunity for adults to hear some student perspectives, which they don't always get to hear. So both groups will be meeting again in March. It is deliberative session night tonight here, and school district clerks will be preparing the ballots for the March 10th election following deliberative sessions. Our filing period closed, so the slate of officers for elections is known and will be probably talked about at deliberative session this evening. I noted that Dr. Castley and I are working with principals on recommendations to the boards regarding teacher renewals for the upcoming school year. So we'll be looking at evaluations, and we're also following recertification because that process is also underway in New Hampshire, and April 1st is the deadline for teachers to get their renewal information into the state. And then I won't go through Dr. Castley's report, but it does pertain to AI and the AI work group that is meeting within the SAU. And Dr. Toomey is here to deliver her report.
Good evening. Thank you so much. Good to see you all. I have 2 items for you this evening, and I will be brief. The first one is just to remind you that we have published our 2nd annual local special education satisfaction survey to our families of students who do have an IEP. And this is a pretty simple, quick, and easy to complete survey. And as much as we'd love to hear about all the great things that are happening for our students, we're also interested in knowing how we can do better and how we can improve. There are only 14 questions, covers 5 important areas: partnering with families, experience with school staff, the special services department, parent participation, and there's one section for additional information where parents may include questions or comments if they wish. The survey can be anonymous unless folks would like to have a response back to their questions. Then they can leave an email. We had a fair turnout last year for our first time, so we're looking to improve that this year at the high school. So we're hoping that our families of about 120 or so students with IEPs will help by supplying that feedback. A note is that the Department of Education annually publishes a survey that is different from ours, and so that will happen as an indicator that we are required to send that out and collect responses, and they grade us according to the responses we receive. So be looking also for that survey in April or May, and that will be sent out to families. And then my other item is just to remind you that this year, March 4th, 2026 is Spread the Word Day, and that is a day that is supported by Special Olympics and Best Buddies. It's a call for respect, inclusion, and action. There's a pledge link that every one of us can take there so that we can signify our stance against using derogatory language, and it really kind of, and other things, and promoting inclusion, and there are ways that principals and school staff can get involved. There are 3 themes for the day. Again, reducing the amount of inappropriate language, combating bullying is another theme, and inclusive action is the 3rd theme. We included some information about Special Olympics and about Best Buddies International. We know at the high school you're very familiar with Best Buddies, so we'd appreciate your support in spreading the word about inclusion on March 4th, Spread the Word Day. Any questions for me?
I do have a question.
Sure.
The 2 surveys, the one that you're doing internally and the one that the Department of Ed does,
Yes.
are those results published?
I will bring you a report
Okay.
regarding our survey.
Okay.
The other results are not published with specific information. They let us know our participation rate.
Okay.
And then there's an indicator on the annual determinations page that tells us how well we did in participation. But it's really to kind of influence the Department of Ed.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Anything else?
Thank
All
you.
right, thank you so much.
Principal's report. I don't have any in mind.
Because I didn't provide one.
Oh,
No, I think it's because we met very recently,
Oh.
because we
Okay.
meet so early
And I
in
can just give
February.
you a quick update. I mean, the current 9, 10, 11th grade students are currently selecting classes for next year, and they'll begin meeting with guidance counselors over the next few weeks. Next Wednesday, we have the class of 2030 class selection night, where the incoming 8th graders will come visit us. And then next Thursday, we have the Winnacunnet Cabaret shows. And
Are you
not-
in it, Principal McGowan?
No,
Oh.
sorry.
Students only.
And then a week after that, we go on break.
Exciting.
Very good.
All right. So I don't see, are we doing curriculum report or no?
No.
Okay. Next up is finance report. Matt, are you giving a report? Sorry. Don't distract him. This is his night to shine.
Yes, this is my
Good night.
Super Bowl evening.
Is this your special time, Ed?
Yes. Ask me after the meeting. I have included both the expenditure and revenue year-to-date reports and board docs. No significant change from last month. I will note that we do have the deliberative session this evening at 7 in the auditorium, and that's an opportunity for the community to discuss and deliberate on a number of warrant articles. That includes the operating budget for FY27, a couple capital improvement projects. That includes a warrant article for a library redesign and furniture, HVAC replacement and controls, as well as auditorium seating replacements. Additionally, we have 2 expendable trust warrant articles to contribute to the special education and health insurance expendable trusts. So hopefully we'll get a good audience. I'm sure people are watching now and they're going to rush down here to watch. And that is it. Any questions? Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Matt. facilities report is available.
It is. May I just make one
Oh,
note?
yes.
Our facilities crew just dealt with a very large snowstorm, and those things happen, right? It's New Hampshire, it's the winter, but I think we underestimate sometimes the work that goes into keeping the grounds cleared and doors open and walkways shoveled when it's this cold, keeping the heat on, making sure that everything is working properly. So just thanks to our facilities crew for their hard work.
Yes, thank you very much.
Madam Chair, can I make a motion to commend the facilities staff on their work on the snowstorm?
I don't know if we need a motion, right?
You can.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure, go ahead, make a motion.
Okay, that was my motion.
I'll second it.
To commend the facilities staff for their work on the weekend.
She has to type that out.
Well, good, it'd be in the public record then. All those in favor? Yay.
That was nice of
Here you
They
go.
deserve our thanks.
Yeah,
I
they
should just
do.
bring
Thank
my
you,
little
Tracy.
thank you cards.
No, our facilities crew they do a great job every day. So.
All right, so moving on to policies, second read and adoption. Were there any comments, questions, concerns about any of these policies that we had from last month? Can someone make a motion?
Sure, I'll make a motion to approve the adoption and withdrawal as recommended for the 14 policies as presented.
Is there a second?
Seconded?
All in
Tracy.
favor? Thank you. Is there a communication committee update?
No, we are rescheduling our meeting that was supposed to take place last week. So stay tuned.
That was a very late meeting we had.
It was a very late meeting, so
Yeah.
we decided to go home.
Right. Okay, so moving on to the it says 25-26 calendar.
Should
but
say
it's-
26, 27.
Yeah. Everywhere else it says 26,
Yes.
27. So the 26, 27 calendar.
So this calendar was discussed and reviewed at the joint board meeting. It is unchanged from that meeting last week, but I would just acknowledge for the public that school is slated to begin on August 31st for our 9th graders and September 1st for all other students. And the last day of school, pending weather, would be June 16th.
Okay. Any questions, comments?
We heard any more about not starting till after Labor Day or?
There is legislation proposed that would have school start after Labor Day, but my understanding is that it would be slated to take effect for the following school year, because there is an understanding that most school calendars will already have been set when legislation is
All right,
decided.
great, thank you.
So this comes from the state legislation and not our CBA.
So this calendar was established with our regional districts who send to the Seacoast School of Technology
Sure.
as required under state law. We had input from the association.
Okay.
We meet and consult with them. Our administrative team reviews it, and we brought it forward to the joint board. The legislation that Tricia is referring to is legislation proposed at the state level this year in the legislature that would require the school year to start after Labor Day.
Huh.
So
Okay.
that has not yet been decided, to the
Okay.
best of my knowledge, but that is pending.
Thank you.
Do you want to take over, Leslie?
Nope, you keep going. Because of course my computer's dead, so
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
you keep going. Thank you.
All right.
I apologize, everybody.
Is someone able to
Motion.
make a motion?
Motion to adopt the SAU 21 joint board approved 2026-27 school year calendar as presented.
Second?
Seconded?
All in favor? Thank you. All right. It says personnel, but we don't have anything, I don't think. right?
Correct.
Okay. So I'll announce the future meetings. We have an SAU 21 Operations Committee meeting on Monday, March 9th. Voting day will be Tuesday, March 10th. And the next Winnacunnet School Board meeting will be Wednesday, March 18th. going into non-public session?
No.
No, okay.
So motion to adjourn? No.
Well, no, we have to,
Recess, that's right.
do we meet with the moderator first? Or we recess first?
That is a great question.
Moderator?
Mr. Moderator,
Yeah.
right there.
So come on down, Mr. Moderator.
Oh, right, because then we recess, go over.
Good
and
evening.
then come back.
I am the moderator, Chris Munz. I've got a few things that I wanted to go through, but it's your meeting, so.
No, we're ready for you.
Okay.
Go
I just
for it.
want to go through the logistics of the session tonight. I'll briefly introduce the meeting and kind of establish what the rules are going to be for the evening. I think the biggest thing that I want to make sure everyone who attends understands is that if there are going to be amendments, they have to be in writing. So that's one thing. And also just make sure that everybody understands that they should direct their questions to me, and then I'll direct them to you all. One order of business that we need to take care of right off the bat is just making sure that we have a motion to allow people that don't live in Northampton, Hampton Falls, and Seabrook to speak. The names that I have are Meredith, Bill, and Matt. Is there anybody else that's likely to speak that we need to give special dispensation to? No. Okay, good. So I'll need someone to make a motion to do that after I mention it.
I can do that.
Okay. I got my own thing here. Okay, then, well, then we'll go right through the warrant articles.
Sorry, Chris.
We'll go right through the warrant articles. And I'll read the article. And then I will ask for a motion to open discussion. So what we've typically done is have one of you do that. So who wants to do the operating budget?
Tricia will do it.
Okay. And then I'll need a second.
I can do that.
Okay. I like to write these down, so if you forget, I can call on you. And then I'll ask people to speak to the article, and then we can entertain amendments to the article, but it can't change the substance of the article. We can change the dollar amount, I believe. And again, that would have to be via an amendment. Once we've gone through the process, if nobody, we're not going to take a vote on the warrant unless there's an amendment. Once we've concluded the discussion, I'll say it'll appear on the ballot as written and amended. What we've done in the past, and again, it's up to you, is one of you might make a motion to restrict reconsideration.
I think
So
what
we
we did
can't
last
open it?
time is, we did the same ones that did the motions, just have them do the
Okay.
restriction one.
Okay, great.
It just makes it easier.
So then, let's just go through the different articles. So we got Article 2, which is the library furniture and redesign. Who wants to
Nicole should
do
do
that
that.
one?
Sure.
That's Nicole, okay. And then who would do the second on that one?
I can second.
Okay. All right, and then, so Nicole would then do the reconsideration.
And
Okay.
Desiree will do the second.
HVAC upgrades. Oh, come on, Leslie, that's gotta be.
Oh, that's
Oh,
so.
I'll do that one.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
love
That's
facilities.
definitely.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's Tracy?
Yes, thanks.
Okay. Who's gonna second that?
I will.
Tricia will.
Okay. All right.
I may need help on the reconsideration.
Yeah, what's the verbiage of
We're
that?
It
doing
just
the
says I
same-
move.
I move.
There. It's
You'll
up
do
here.
that and the reconsideration,
Oh, thank you.
I
It's
move
right
to
here. I move to
restrict
open the article.
reconsideration.
reconsideration.
I move to restrict I move to restrict reconsideration of article, whatever the number is.
Gotcha.
It's right underneath the Article
first
1.
one.
Gotcha.
They've got it, we just
Oh,
don't
and I
have it
probably
on the
need a
rest of them.
second for that, so that's gonna be the same person, right?
Right.
So that's on our second go-through.
Wait, when
Is
do
the
we
motion
say
to
it? When do we
restrict.
say
Right,
motion
yep,
to
motion to
restrict?
restrict.
After I say, you know, okay, we've wrapped up this article, that the
Oh, I see.
article will appear
Okay.
on the ballot as
Okay, I see
amended
it
or
now. I see
amended,
it.
and then you can jump on and say, I make a motion to.
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
Restrict article, whatever you're doing.
Article,
Okay.
blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
to
And then
restrict.
I am gonna need a second. on
Yeah,
that, too.
same one, so it would be Tracy and Tricia.
Tracy and Tricia.
Replace auditorium seating. Who's doing that one?
Desiree, why don't, you haven't done a motion yet, why don't you do yours?
Okay, and who's gonna second
I'll
that?
second it,
You're gonna second it?
sure.
Okay. All right. Special Education Expendable Trust.
I'll make that motion.
And who's gonna second? Tricia.
Nicole, you want to
Sounds
second
like a
that
good
one?
one for Tricia.
Trish.
Tricia, okay.
Tricia.
Okay.
Okay. School Health Insurance Expendable Trust.
Leslie.
Leslie, you haven't done one yet.
All right, I'll do that one.
Who
Well,
was,
I'm doing the first one.
Oh, you are?
Oh,
you're the-
Tricia.
No,
not.
the first one of letting them speak.
You're the chair,
Oh,
so you
yeah,
get to
yeah,
do
yeah.
two.
I get to do two, that's good, all right. And then second, you want,
I can second.
okay.
Who's doing Article 5? I'm
I'll
behind.
just read through them all quick.
Okay, thanks.
That works.
We'll go over
So
them.
Leslie will make a motion to allow non-residents to speak. Tricia and Nicole, Article 1. Nicole and Desiree, Article 2. Tracy and Tricia, Article 3. Desiree and Leslie, Article 4. Tracy and Tricia, Article 5. And Leslie and Desiree, Article 6.
Okay?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Probably.
I'll second.
Need a second on everything.
Desiree.
Yeah. Non-residents and then I'll second.
All right, my
Yeah,
pen doesn't work, so somebody help me when it's my turn.
Here, you want one? Here, heads up, heads up.
Okay.
Oh, you sent
It's
one?
gonna go in my eye.
So that would conclude the meeting. Now, there is a potential, I'm not gonna call it an issue, but, potential, point of extra discussion that may come up. It came up yesterday apparently, and I wasn't there, it came up yesterday at the Hampton School District meeting. There are a number of citizens in Hampton at least that have been advocating for all of the warrant articles, including a statement that identifies the impact on the millage rate.
Yep.
And that, and Matt and I have been going back and forth with Bob Casaz all day. As best I can tell, and I'm gonna ask Matt to jump in here if I'm misstating it, but as best I can tell, there is law on the books that provides for that. The standard way of doing that, however, is to have a warrant on, an article on the ballot 1 year that says, yes, we, the voters of the Winnacunnet School District, have decided that, yes, we want this added on to the warrants going forward. And then it therefore would be included on all the warrant articles in the future. You would see it as part of your review of the warrant article, and it would just kind of become established practice, but you wouldn't see it in that first year. That warrant article has never appeared on the Winnacunnet ballot. What we're preparing, what we're concerned about is that that group might come in and say, hey, we want to do that this year. We want it to appear on this year's warrant article. You can't introduce that warrant article to do that, and here comes the expert, because every warrant article that's submitted has to be printed first.
Correct.
So it can't be done that way. The one way that it could be done, theoretically,
They
and
can
this is
amend it.
where I'm hoping that,
Yeah,
you know,
be
Bob
through
will
amendments.
save me as well, is you can do that for each individual warrant article.
Right,
You can add that language.
that's what they did last night at
And,
90.
and, you know, there's
Oh, they did it.
a part of me that thinks if that's what people want to do, you know, transparency is great, fine, you know, add it. The potential problem with that is now you've opened up a can of worms so that, you know, you can tack stuff on like that on every year in different wording, and you've kind of established a precedent. So that's the risk of doing it. The other issue, as I see it, is, you know, Matt can do the calculations of what those numbers are, but you certainly haven't seen those. And should that appear on the warrants without you having seen it and said, yes, we agree that those are the right numbers? So I think that's one thing we need to talk through. I mean, I don't mean to divulge anything. He's done the calculations. He has the numbers. You can either be okay with that, and you can say right here that you authorize him to release those numbers, or it could go back to the school board, I guess.
So the Board and Budget Committee typically have to reaffirm their position on warrant articles if they change through amendments. So there is a process.
That would address
in
the
place for
process.
that.
So the challenge then would be the public tonight wouldn't see the numbers, and that's the compromise that they would have to be willing to accept. Is that, have I said anything?
I came in, so I'm happy to share some thoughts here.
Yeah, we were talking about the fact that the normal process of doing this is through a warrant article 1 year that then applies going forward. And I suggested that, well, we can't do that this year, obviously. And I suggested the alternatives to do it by each individual, add that language to each individual warrant if they want to. Nobody's gonna volunteer that, but if they wanna do that. And then that opens up the potential of setting some kind of a precedent that I know you were concerned about.
So, yeah, just making clear that as long as everyone understands, we're still in a public meeting, so we're still having that discussion.
Yeah, and can
Yeah.
I just close public comment at 6:32? Thank you.
Can I give you just some thoughts? I watched the Hampton
I don't,
meeting.
is it allowed?
I don't think any of you want to
It's on the
have
agenda.
that on your plate tonight.
And legal
We're in a position where, as I understand it, you likely will have from the floor some amendments to each of your spend articles to add some tax impact language. Nothing wrong with that. You know, it's something that I think benefits the voters. It's transparent. It's not best practice to do it from the floor. The statute anticipates that there'll first be a warrant article, as Chris mentioned, and then if that warrant article passes thereafter, just as a matter of rote, it will appear. My advice to you would be tonight to accept that amendment from the floor. I do have concerns that it suggests that amendments from the floor can work in the area of those notes. That to me is dangerous, but we're in a position tonight where I believe the community wants that information on your ballot. I don't see any objection to providing it. I would urge you, the board, or a member of the community to propose a warrant article for the 27 ballot that addresses this issue in the manner that the statute anticipates. And if it passes, yeah, then it just goes on.
So rather than not doing it individually by warrant article, by amendment to,
If you do the warrant article next year in 27,
right,
and that passes, then starting in 28, it would automatically be added.
Right. But tonight, I think you're gonna have a push
okay.
to put that information on your 26 ballot. And while it's not best practice, and while it's a little messy, my advice would be to allow it. The concern is the suggestion that in subsequent years, hey, I want to amend that fiscal note to say this or that. I never viewed fiscal notes as the purview of the legislative body. I viewed it as the governing bodies. Same with, I know this is gonna sound silly to you, but I had it happen to me once, the same with the votes. The vote is 4-0 or something like that. I've had people say, and the board votes enthusiastically 4-0 in favor. No, the board votes 4-0. The fiscal impact is whatever it is, without any editorializing. I don't want to suggest that just because tonight we're allowing from the floor language about the fiscal note, that next year or the year after, the floor gets to play in that area. I don't believe they have that authority.
Can we, if the motion, comes forward that they want this information, can we say that, that is acceptable as long as we use the prescribed language?
Yeah, I don't know what the amendment language is gonna be, but the problem Hampton got into was the motion, just like any motion, it has particular information in it. It says the tax impact is, I don't know, $1.37. And yet they recognized at the time they were doing it that number could change, right?
Okay.
If you pass that motion, isn't that stuck at 137? You amended the warrant article to say 137. How can you just, unilaterally change it later on your own? I don't think you can. And so I think you need to leave a blank in there that the tax impact, whatever, as determined by the governing body or, Matt, as it is.
Spreadsheets.
But if you get a warrant article and it says the school board shall show it every year, then you don't get into that issue of, should we amend it and have it say 137 or 138, that sort of thing.
But so I could say, could I say that if they, they present the amendment and they have the specific number in there, say that, that we're not gonna accept that, but we will accept the language that they have, leave it with the number blank, and then the school board and the budget committee can insert that in the final.
Yeah, we can have that dialogue. I think we're all going to the same goal, which is to provide an accurate number for the tax impact. And how we get there, hopefully we don't get hung up on the details. And it's the pledge of this board to say, yes, we'll do that. Matt, will calculate it or calculate it again if things change tonight, and we'll get it on there. And then the charge is next year, who's gonna put that warrant article on the ballot? Board article, petition article?
I would make it a board, if we have enough public that want it, then I think it's something that the board should do and just put it on there and say, okay,
And then
we
you'd
heard
have
you, so
control-
here you go.
Yeah, you'd have control over the language.
Right.
And
Yep.
so.
But for
They wanted-
next year,
For next
Right,
year.
for next year,
not this
Right.
election.
No, we can't do
not
anything
this
this
election,
year.
it's done this
Okay.
election.
We can't do that because every petitioned warrant article has to be printed beforehand.
Oh,
So we
Yeah, so
can't
that's
do it
my
this year.
simple question. Do we have time to do the calculations and the printing prior to the vote?
I'm gonna say yes, because
Okay.
everybody does it.
Okay,
Everybody
okay.
who has one of those tax impact articles comes out of their meeting and says, did anything change? What's the number?
Gotcha.
And that's it.
The thing that makes it a little bit more challenging for this district is that you can't, it's not just one number.
Right, you're gonna have to.
It's four
put-
numbers.
Yeah.
right.
Four numbers, so. Okay, so I'll try to, if that comes up, I'll try to navigate ourselves
I think it's
through
pretty
that.
straightforward. I don't think it needs to be very convoluted at all. It's like they're asking for information and all we basically say is, yes, we'll provide that. We'll add it to our warrant articles and it really, and as far as the wording, we'll use what is statutorily accepted.
That's where I would,
Yeah.
I'll just kind of insert myself there. That's what might cause a little bit of friction, and we'll just see how it goes.
Yeah, it all depends on who decides, so, yep,
Voters are in charge.
right. Yeah,
Okay.
all right. Thanks, Chris.
All right, so I think that's all.
Everything?
So a motion to what?
Recess.
Yeah, recess, motion to recess.
Motion to recess the
Seconded.
meeting at 6:40 PM to attend the deliberative session.
Second?
Seconded.
Oh,
Did you second?
I was seconding it, I was like.
I thought you were looking
Who's running
at.
the meeting or who's?
I thought Leslie took over.
No, I was doing the motion.
Oh, and I just took over? I'm not used to you making motions, Leslie, I'm
it to whoever you
Oh my
want.
God.
All
Two
in
motions.
favor?
Yeah, there we
We're
go.
all in
Thank
favor.
you.